Hello everyone, I'm Bamidele Salako and I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I'm delighted to welcome you to the Canadian Immigrants YouTube channel, your one-stop shop for practical, reliable, relevant, and current information to help you settle and succeed in Canada as an immigrant professional and foreign student. One of the most important decisions that immigrants must make before moving to Canada is choosing the right Canadian city to settle in. Cost of living is one of the deciding factors in choosing a destination city in Canada. You've got to ask questions like, what's the average price of rent? If you have kids, how much does childcare cost in this city? What will it cost me to buy my own home? Are incomes in this city high enough to cover my family's living expenses and to save and invest for the future? In this video, I will be providing answers to these questions by exploring the cost of living in some of Canada's major cities. Let's go! So I'll begin in Calgary, where I live. With an estimated population of 1.58 million residents in the beginning of 2021, Calgary is Alberta's most populous city and the second most populous in Western Canada. It owes its growth and development to its status as the center of Canada's oil industry. In 2015, Calgary had the highest number of millionaires per capita of any major Canadian city. As of 2017, a total of 1,720 millionaires were living in Calgary. The Global Livability Index ranked Calgary as the fifth most livable city in the world in 2019. However, these impressive statistics have not sent Calgary's cost of living racing through the roof. In fact, in a recent ranking of North America's 53 biggest cities by the cost of living aggregator Expatistan, Calgary ranks as the 30th most expensive city on the North American continent. Pretty impressive if you ask me, considering the Economist Intelligence Unit ranked Calgary in both 2018 and 2019 as the most livable city in North America. The minimum wage in the province of Alberta, where Calgary is situated, is $15 per hour for most employees. According to PayScale, the average employee in Calgary makes 66,000 Canadian dollars a year, which comes to about 34 Canadian dollars an hour and 1,375 Canadian dollars a week. Bear in mind that depending on your area of expertise, you may not immediately earn as high as this, especially if you plan on taking on a transitional job that pays a minimum wage or slightly above minimum wage until you're able to secure a desirable role in your own occupation. Average monthly childcare costs in Calgary hover around 1,100 Canadian dollars a month per child. That's the third highest in Canada after Toronto and Vancouver. Although the monthly price of childcare will vary based on the age of each child, the neighborhood you live in, and your specific expectations as a parent. The good thing is, depending on your income, Calgary families are eligible for provincial childcare subsidies to lessen the cost of childcare. In Calgary, as in most other places in the world, cost of rent depends on location and square footage. Generally, two-bedroom apartments average between 800 Canadian dollars and 2,000 Canadian dollars a month, while three-bedroom apartments or townhomes go for between 1,200 Canadian dollars and 2,800 Canadian dollars a month. Rents tend to be higher in the popular neighborhoods in Calgary's southwest and northwest communities. Most newcomers to Calgary are eligible to rent quality and affordable apartments with the city's housing authority, the Calgary Housing Company. These rentals, called near-market rentals, are guaranteed 10% cheaper than the market average for different Calgary neighborhoods. If you're thinking of buying your own home, the average house price in Calgary is 418,000 Canadian dollars. Furthermore, there's no provincial sales tax applicable in Alberta. As such, the sales tax in Alberta is just 5% compared to other provinces across Canada where collective sales tax can be as high as 15%. Moving west of Alberta, with an estimated population of 2.6 million, Vancouver is the most populous city in the province of British Columbia. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Canada and always ranks in the top 5 cities in the world with the best quality of life. It's also the warmest city to live in Canada in winter. It's no surprise then that Vancouver is generally regarded as the most expensive city to live in Canada. Vancouver is also the most racially diverse city in the country, An estimated 52% of its residents are not native English speakers. The minimum wage for most employees in the province of BC stands at $14.60 per hour and is expected to rise to at least $15.20 on June 1st, 2021. According to PayScale, the average employee in Vancouver makes about 63,000 Canadian dollars a year. Vancouver has the fourth most expensive housing market in the world, with average home prices as of January 2021 standing at 1.27 million Canadian dollars. Depending on your location in the city, the cost of a one-bed apartment can range from as low as 1,200 Canadian dollars to as high as 1,950 Canadian dollars a month. Nomayo estimates that rent for a three-bed apartment outside of the city center could cost as high as 3,500 Canadian dollars a month. Vancouver is one of the most expensive cities in Canada for childcare, with the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives 2019 report putting the median cost of full-time, full-day childcare at about 1,400 Canadian dollars a month for an infant, 1,407 Canadian dollars a month for a toddler, and 1,000 Canadian dollars a month for a preschooler. However, the province's affordable childcare benefit helps families with the cost of childcare, depending on factors like family size, type of care, and household income. The province of British Columbia, where Vancouver is situated, has a sales tax of 12%. Canada's most populous city, Toronto, is generally regarded as the country's second most expensive city. With an estimated metro area population of 6 million, the city is the fourth most populous city in North America. Toronto is an international center of business, finance, arts and culture, and is recognized as one of the most multicultural and cosmopolitan cities in the world. It is also home to Canada's #1 university, the University of Toronto. Being a massive hub of commercial activity with numerous economic opportunities, Toronto is expectedly the favorite destination city for immigrant professionals from all over the world. Average home prices in Toronto stand at close to $1 million. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center is currently at $1,755 Canadian dollars. Depending on the location, renting a two-bed apartment could set you back by up to $2,300 Canadian dollars a month. Toronto is regarded as the most expensive city in Canada for childcare. The minimum public fee for infant care in the city stands at 1,685 Canadian dollars a month, 1,799 Canadian dollars a month for toddlers, and 1,365 Canadian dollars a month for preschoolers. Eligible families in the city may qualify for a provincial childcare subsidy that helps mitigate childcare costs. Average salary in Toronto, according to PayScale, stands at 65,000 Canadian dollars a year, and the province of Ontario has a total tax rate of 13%. Regina is the capital city of the Canadian province of Saskatchewan and the second largest in the province after Saskatoon. Regina ranks as Canada's 18th most populated city with an estimated population of over 200,000 people. PayScale places the average salary in Regina at 60,000 Canadian dollars a year. Based on data from moneysense.ca, the average household income in the city stood at about 103,000 Canadian dollars a year in 2018. Rent is cheaper in Regina than most big cities in Canada. The average rental cost for one-bed apartment in the city trends between 800 Canadian dollars outside of the city center and 1,500 Canadian dollars in downtown Regina. A two-bed apartment in a normal neighborhood rents out from about 850 Canadian dollars and rises to about 1,550 Canadian dollars in expensive areas. The city's housing authority has a social housing program that provides affordable housing to individuals and families who are unable to afford safe and secure housing. Regina has an affordable real estate market with the average home price standing at 289,000 Canadian dollars. The minimum wage in the province of Saskatchewan is the lowest in Canada at $11.45 and gets adjusted annually on October 1st of each year relative to the Consumer Price Index. A 2019 childcare fee survey found the full-time median monthly fees for childcare in Regina were $850 Canadian dollars a month for infants, 680 Canadian dollars for toddlers, and 620 Canadian dollars for preschoolers, some of the lowest such rates in Canada. Based on factors like income and household size, families in Regina are able to access a childcare subsidy through Saskatchewan's Ministry of Social Services to reduce the fees charged to eligible parents. Maximum subsidy rates and full-time childcare fee vary from 315 Canadian dollars to 570 Canadian dollars a month. Saskatchewan has one of Canada's highest sales tax rates at 11%. Winnipeg is the capital and largest city of the province of Manitoba in Canada, with an estimated population of 825,000 residents. Known as the gateway to the West, Winnipeg is a railway and transportation hub with a diversified economy. Most of the city's 196,000 strong workforce are employed in the public service, sales and services, retail, manufacturing, administrative services, transport, trades, healthcare, educational services, and financial services sectors. The city is home to the Royal Canadian Mint, which produces all circulating coinage in Canada and also produces coins for many other countries. Pay scale puts the average employee salary in Winnipeg at 53,000 Canadian dollars a year, while the province's minimum wage is the third lowest in Canada at $11.90 and gets adjusted yearly based on inflation rates. Rent Board puts the average cost of rent for a one-bed apartment in Winnipeg at 1,078 Canadian dollars a month, with renters being able to secure a single-bed apartment for as low as 550 Canadian dollars a month and a two-bed apartment for as low as $782 a month, depending on the location and square footage. The province of Manitoba has a social housing rental program that provides affordable housing options to families in Winnipeg who fall below specified household income limits. The average house price in the city stands at about 341,000 Canadian dollars. The entire province of Manitoba has some of the lowest childcare costs in Canada. At a funded facility that receives a provincial operating grant, parents in Winnipeg can expect to pay full-time childcare fees as high as 840 Canadian dollars for infants and 564 Canadian dollars for preschoolers and school-aged children. Winnipeg parents who are eligible can also enjoy the provincial government's childcare subsidy program, which helps to further reduce childcare fees for children from the ages of 12 weeks to 12 years. Halifax, now part of the Halifax Regional Municipality, is the capital of the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. Halifax is a major economic center in Atlantic Canada with a large concentration of government services and private sector companies. Major employers and economic generators in Halifax include the Department of National Defence, Dalhousie University, St. Mary's University, the Halifax Shipyard, various levels of government, and the Port of Halifax. Agriculture, fishing, mining, forestry, and natural gas extraction are major resource industries found in the rural areas of the municipality. Halifax has an estimated urban population of 415,000 residents. Based on pay scale data, an average employee in Halifax makes about 54,000 Canadian dollars a year. The province of Nova Scotia currently has a minimum wage of $12.55 an hour, which is set to rise by 40 cents later this year. Rent Board puts the average cost of rent for a one-bed apartment in Halifax at 1,357 Canadian dollars per month, with renters being able to secure a single-bed apartment for as low as 1,040 Canadian dollars a month and a two-bed apartment for 1,225 Canadian dollars a month, depending on the location and square footage. Like other Canadian provinces, Nova Scotia delivers a range of housing solutions to meet the needs of Nova Scotians living on low or modest incomes. The 2019 Childcare Fee Survey revealed the full-time median monthly fees in Halifax to be 939 Canadian dollars a month for infants, 829 Canadian dollars a month for toddlers, and 861 Canadian dollars a month for preschoolers. Nova Scotia's childcare subsidy program helps eligible low to middle income families with children 12 years and under pay for a portion of childcare fees at licensed childcare facilities and approved family day homes. The average price of a house in Halifax is 375,000 Canadian dollars. Montreal is the second largest primarily French-speaking city in the developed world after Paris. Although the city's official language is French, at least 58% of the city's population is bilingual, being able to speak both English and French. The city has the second highest number of consulates in North America and serves as an important center of commerce, aerospace, transport, finance, pharmaceuticals, technology, design, education, art, culture, tourism, food, fashion, video game development, film, and world affairs. The province of Quebec has a minimum wage of $13.10 an hour, which is set to rise to $13.50 in May this year. The province also has a combined sales tax rate of over 14%. Pay scale puts the average employee salary in Montreal at 63,000 Canadian dollars a year. Depending on the location and apartment size, you can secure a one-bed apartment in Montreal for 680 Canadian dollars and a two-bed apartment for 880 Canadian dollars. The Municipal Housing Authority also provides affordable housing solutions to individuals and families who need them. The housing price in Montreal is relatively low in comparison to other major Canadian cities. The average home price in Montreal is 400,000 Canadian dollars. Daycare costs are the lowest in the province of Quebec, with the cost of full-time, full-day childcare at government-subsidized facilities standing at just $8.35 a day. At a non-subsidized daycare, the daily fees can range from 35 Canadian dollars to 60 Canadian dollars a day. Kindly note that cost of living is just one of several important considerations when choosing a Canadian city to settle in. You also need to be educated on the labor market across Canada's different provinces and learn about what employment opportunities are available in the cities you're looking to settle in. I will be addressing this in another video soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share with your friends and family who might be in the process of immigrating to Canada. Please feel free to drop me a comment or questions in the comment box below so we can connect. I wish you all the best, and I hope you fulfill all your dreams in Canada. See you soon.